金钱跟时间都很重要，在工作中，有的时候非不得已得请求多一点时间，或者算少一点钱。那让我们来分享几个简单的步骤，让这种请求不再这么的尴尬。Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管双语沟通力的 podcast。我们希望带给大家最实用的沟通工具，包括了成功人士对全球市场的分享、职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。Hi, I'm Sherry, founder of Executive Plus. As a language trainer and certified coach, I've trained hundreds of managers from Fortune 500 companies such as Dior, Google, Deloitte, and Yahoo.
And I'm Nick, Director of Communication Strategy at Presentality. I've helped startups raise millions of US dollars in funding and train the executives of publicly listed companies to present on the global stage.
Welcome to the Executive Plus podcast,
where you can take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Executive Plus podcast episode 51. In this episode, we're going to answer the question that I feel I get asked the most often, which is, how do I write an email or send a message asking for a delay or asking for a discount?
通常是真的是一个蛮尴尬的请求，但是有的时候真的是非不得已，那或者是有的时候这个请求也是来自你的老板，所以你也必须要 be the bad guy here and asking for more more time， 有的时候是 delay of a project， 或者是你必须要跟你的 client 来 negotiate 这个 pricing。Now,
this episode in specific isn't going to go over negotiation. If you want more ideas on that, check out our persuasion series. But what we want to share with you is what are effective ways to open that conversation to avoid the awkwardness or to be clear about what's going on. And we're just going to take you through the quick steps on how you can get that conversation started, either via email or via message.
所以我们今天所教的这些简单的步骤，其实对于 email 或者是你要口说或者是跟人家面对面都非常的实用。那我们今天只希望给大家一些比较 quick 的 tips， 因为其实像这种比较 awkward 的请求，我们都不用太多的铺陈，基本上你比较快速的进入状况，对方也是比较好的。
All right, we're going to outline these steps in the form of an email. But if done properly, you can send a message this way as well. Now, this is actually quite an easy process. There's only 5 steps. The first step is how you should begin any email with a simple greeting. Dear, hello, hi, etc., depending on who you're talking to. The second step is the first thing you should do, especially when broaching an awkward subject, is build some kind of connection, establish some kind of opening that is less harsh. But very quickly, third step is you should get right into the problem and be specific. The fourth step is actually the most important piece that people need to think about carefully, which is how do you reinforce what you're asking for in a way that's beneficial to your audience, beneficial to your reader? And the last step is simply have a strong call to action. Anytime that you're asking for something awkward, ending it on an open-ended, leaving in the air is not great. Have a key call to action. So 5 easy steps.
所以基本上我们就简单的5个步骤，那这5个步骤非常简单，因为它跟我们普通的 email 其实蛮类似的。当然我们第一个一定是 greetings， 那就是简单的 say hi, dear or hi someone。那第二个就是 build that connection， 那这个 connection 也就是很简单，比如说对方的我们刚刚新年才过了，我们就说hope you had a great holiday, hope you had a great new year。那第3个步骤就是我们的重点来了，我们比如说我们要asking for more time， 可能这个 project 需要被 delay， 这个就是你的重点。那第4个呢，也就是非常重要，那有很多人会 ignore 的这一个点，就是你必须要去加强，让对方能够了解说其实你已经非常的认真，那你已经很努力了，而且你可能之后还会做更多的努力，让这个 project 更快速。 那最后面就是一个 call to action。All right, so I guess let's give everyone some detail, some example sentences or phrases how to start this email.
So opening the email should be something everyone's familiar with. Just dear, and then use however you most often contact them. My suggestion, very simple, when people go, oh, I don't know how to open, is if it's formal and you're not familiar with the person, always use dear. Dear, and then use their formal title or name. The other way to look at it is if you have a lot of emails back and forth, just follow whatever they do. They say hi, you say hi. They say hey, you say hey. And it's not awkward because this is something that they've used. But when opening an awkward email, that step 2 should always build a connection. Build a connection means open with something that doesn't seem so harsh or so straight to the point. Now, this doesn't mean write a whole paragraph about how your New Year's vacation was and how you hope their family is doing. Keep it down to 1 or 2 sentences, but always open by establishing some kind of connection with your relationship. One example might be is with the recent holidays, you might say something like, Happy New Year. I hope that you had a relaxing vacation and are ready to get back to work. Or if you're familiar with this person, you may say something related to their family or to some kind of connections. Recent events also become quite important. For example, southern US has had a lot of really harsh weather. So if you're emailing a client that you know is, say, in Texas, you may just say, I hope everything with you is going well. I've heard that you've had some bad weather, and I hope that you're warm and safe.
所以这个部分其实简单的1、2句就好了，不用一个 paragraph， 其实1、2句就是最适合的长度。那当然这个部分呢，也就是要跟对方有很大的关系，比如说一些 current event， 或者是我们刚刚有讲过嘛，就是新年才刚过啊，或者是某一个 special holiday， 那你知道他们好像 took a vacation， 那你也可以趁这个时候稍微做一些问候。
So getting into step 3 is really the meat and the key idea of your email. One mistake that a lot of people make when getting into the point, especially if the news is bad or it feels awkward, is they'll try and explain a lot of context, they'll go in a big circle, and they won't be clear about what they want to say. So my advice for this step is always politely but upfront talk about why you're writing the email. And the reason for this is quite simple. If someone sees a very long email and they're busy, they may not go and find the key point. They may just see it and skip it and miss the important things like asking for a delay or asking for a discount and explaining an update of the project. Or if someone has to read a really long context paragraph and the key point is at the very end, by the time they get to the key point, they may be upset and not really willing to listen to, say, your follow-up actions.
所以在这个第3个步骤，那也就是我们重点的部分来了。那当然我们也就是 go straight to the point。那刚刚 Nick 有讲到，就是有的时候我们想给一个很完整的 story， 所以我们就讲了 story 啊、前因后果啊，这些讲的非常的多。那对于读者来讲，其实大家都非常的忙碌。当你看到了这种真的是那种绕圈圈的这样子的 story， 有的时候你会失去耐心。所以这个部分其实我们也是1、2句、2、3句就可以完成了。
Right. So there's a few key sentences that you can use to open this. One would be just simply, I am writing to you because, and then put in your main point. I'm writing to you because I would like to ask for a delay in the project. Or there has been a delay and we need to expand the timeline. Another way that you can say this is also just saying, I'm writing you to give a quick update. Or, I'd like to give you a quick update on these things. And then, again, in 1 or 2 sentences, quickly explain why you're sending the email.
所以除了刚刚 Nick 所讲的这些句子之外，我们也可以，比如说你想要用更礼貌的方式的话，你也可以说 I'm wondering if it is possible to ask for delay of deadline to 比如说什么的 project.
Jumping into part 4 is another place where people often get lost or make things more difficult or more awkward than they should be. Part 4 is the explanation of why there's a delay, and the key idea that I always work with people on is you should always form this part around things that you can control and things that you want to do. When it is not focused on things you can control and things that you're going to do, people just see that as a bunch of excuses, or this is why they will get upset.
所以在这个部分呢，非常重要的就是当你在解释你为什么有这个 delay 的时候，你一定要专注在你可以控制的 action， 或者是你之后想要做什么样的动作，那不然其他的可能都会听起来比较像是一些借口，而不是很好的原因。
The wrong way to do this would be something like, oh, COVID has caused us shipping delays, so I can't give it to you.
所以听起来就很像 excuses, right?
Yeah, it's just an excuse. It's like, this is true for every single person. Right. And now, it may be a legitimate reason what's causing you delay, but again, form your idea around things that you can control and things that you want to do. So, it may say something like, COVID has caused a lot of our suppliers delays in getting their materials to us so that we can finish your project. I have contacted all the suppliers and double-checked with them how quickly they can get to the product, and then worked with our R&D team and manufacturing team to figure out the timeline that they can finish in. Based on getting all this information, I believe that with an additional 2 weeks, we can still get things to you.
所以在这个部分呢，刚刚你就讲到了，就是你已经因为了 COVID， 所以我们有这个 delay， 但是你也去联络了不同的厂商啊 supplier 等等呢，去确认说我们怎么样去fix 这个问题。所以呢，我们之后的 process， 我们之后可能的需要的时间是多长，那这个部分我们就 cover 了这个 part 1， 也就是 reason for delay， part 2 what I've done to fix this issue, and part 3, what's left to do.
And with these 3 quick mini sub-steps, part 4 of your overall message can quickly move from, oh, please give me more time because all these problems, to here's what I'm doing to do what's best for you, and made it very clear the reason for the delay. Since steps 3 and 4 are all about action, of course, the last step, step 5, is all about action. It's a call to action. Meaning, when you get to your last step and you're closing out the email, you should think carefully as, what do you want the receiver of the email to do next?
所以这个部分在最后的一个部分，我们也就是着重于就是你希望对方，就是收到这封 email 的人，你希望对方有什么样的行动。
The most basic way that you can end the email is just simply by saying, please let me know if you have any questions.
And then you can say, I'd like to set up a call this week to answer any questions you might have.
Or, if you could get back to me ASAP with any questions, I'd appreciate it.
好了，那这样子我们这封 email 的架构就非常的明确。那如果你 follow 这个架构，基本上没有什么太大的问题了。那我们接下来想要也提供给大家不同的 examples。那我们之前有讲到说，我们用这样子的架构，我们可以 asking for delay or asking for price discounts.
Sample 1 would be an email looking at a project delay. May sound like this. Dear Sherry, I hope you had a restful New Year's vacation and are staying warm in Taipei. I'm writing to you because there has been a slight delay in progress and we need another 2 weeks to finish the project. Unfortunately, with many of the logistics delays caused by COVID, we do not have all the materials necessary to complete the project. Despite initial delays, I have personally contacted all of our suppliers and double-checked with our own team on processing time. I can assure you that we will be able to fill the order by the end of the month. I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. If you are available for a con call this week, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Nick.
第二个 example 也就是 asking for discounts. 那我们就是用一样的这个 structure 我们来写这个 email. So this is an example. Dear Nick, I hope you're doing well. I've heard there have been some ice storms in your area and hope your family is staying safe and warm. I'm writing to give an update on our latest discussions concerning your project proposal. At this time, we're interested, but would like to know if there's any room for discussion on the pricing. I have given a full presentation to my boss and the board. They are ready to begin, but feel that the budget is higher than originally planned. When talking to the project manager about the key concerns they have with the pricing, most questions are around sections 1 and 3 material costs. However, rather than going line by line, item by item, if you would consider lowering the overall cost by just 5%, I believe we can move forward quickly. Please let me know if you have any questions or would like to set up a discussion time. Have a wonderful week. Sherry.
I hope through these 2 examples, you can see our quick 5-step structure.
那希望大家也是利用我们这个 structure， 然后你也可以很快速的、很轻松的也能够写这些 email。那我们所有的这个 example 我都会放在讲义上，那讲义呢也可以在我们的podcast 的 description box 也可以找得到，或者你可以到我们的 Facebook page Executive Plus 主管英文也可以找得到相关的这个 post， 你也会看到我们的讲义哦。
And the next time that you have to write an awkward email, we hope that you can follow our structure. Talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
如果你喜欢我们的 podcast， 欢迎来追踪我们的主管英文 Executive Plus 的 Facebook。那也可以写信到我们的信箱yourcareerplus@gmail.com。